So, in our day to day life, we keep using various parts of speech, and you have already seen what are these different types of parts of speech: noun, pronouns, verb, adverbs, adjectives, prepositions. We have been and we will be talking about these elements of words and sentences very frequently in this course. Now, a major area of grammar and in English grammar is articles. There are three major articles, or that only three known articles in the English language: a and the. A and n are called indefinite articles, whereas the is definite article. Now, what does an article do? An article has a very important place in written and spoken English. We do not realize it, but very often, especially those whose mother tongue is not English or whose first language is not English, they often make mistakes in the use of articles and tenses. And articles are a major area of frequently making mistakes. So, what is an article? Article is a word which is almost like an adjective. You know, it defines or modifies a noun. It is placed before a noun always. So, that is one key feature of an article. However, we have to always, like in any other part of grammar, in any other feature of language, we have to be very careful about every rule. Now, usually adjectives, as we know, modify nouns through description, but articles are used instead to point out or refer to nouns. Okay. Now, this is not to be confused with the demonstrative, this or that. So, they are also pointers, or they too refers to these books, this table, that microphone, that is also used, but those are demonstratives. Here we are talking about articles which are used to point out or refer to nouns. Now, definite articles, first let us talk about the, which is a definite article, and it refers directly to a specific noun or group of nouns. For example, the alligator in the lake. We are talking about a specific alligator in a specific lake here. Okay. Let us say there are many alligators in that lake. So, here we are not pointing towards one definite alligator, but here for some reason we might be very specific about this particular alligator. Therefore, it becomes the or the alligator. See, pronunciation matters. Whenever we use the article the before any word that starts with the vowels a, e, I, o, u. So, the pronunciation becomes the, or it's otherwise there is a stronger emphasis the. So, these are subtle nuances which will serve you well if you make a note of these. Let us say the President of the United States of America. Okay, so, the President of the United States of America. So, again we are talking about a specific person. The captain of the ship, we are talking about a very specific person. Captain Ahab, the captain of the ship Picard. So, we are talking about a very specific person. Now, each noun or group of noun being referred to is direct and specific. Therefore, what qualifies them? A specific or a definite article the. Definite article is used with singular or plural nouns when you expect the person who is listening to know which person or thing is talked about. This is important. The person should know which person, or the listener should know which person or thing, or the reader should know which person or thing is specifically being talked about. This is the girl I told you about. This is the girl. I am not talking about any girl. So, this is the girl I talked. This is the element which, when mixed with some other element, results in this product. Okay. This is the film I told you about. This is the film I told you about. So, we are talking about something specific. Let us go to a movie tonight, okay. But this is the movie I wanted to watch for a long time. So, there is a difference. Let us go to a movie, any movie would do. I will look at the newspaper and I will see, okay, what is running in town, and I will go for it. But this is the movie I want to watch. So, this is important. This is the book I told you about. I told you about this book, the Advanced Learner's Dictionary. So, this is the book I told you about. So, specific. Read a dictionary. Any dictionary would do. Read. Did you get the dictionary today? So, you know that I am talking about a specific dictionary. So, therefore, it is important that the listener or reader should know which person or thing is being specifically talked about. This is the experiment which went wrong. Now, definite article is generally used with certain proper nouns also. For example, the names of rivers, oceans, mountain ranges, deserts, islands. So, the Andaman and Nicobar, the Indian Ocean, the Pacific, the Gobi Desert. Okay. So, this is the way the United States of America, a group of states coming together, the United Kingdom. Yeah. But we do not say I went to the England, but we say I am going to the UK. So, that is we do not say I am going to the India, but the Indian Ocean, because traditionally the definite article is used before the names of ocean, rivers, the Ganges, the Jamuna river. Okay. So, this is the way we use. Now, indefinite articles are the words a and n, we have already seen here, and each of these articles is used to refer to a noun which is not so specific. So, not as specific as the definite article the. An angry man, okay. A war hero, my father was a war hero. An idea can change the world, so an idea. My friend is an engineer. So, we are talking about, so these articles are used to refer to a noun which is not specific. In each case, the noun is not specific, other people do not know who you are referring to. So, an angry man, a war hero by themselves are not very specific. When we use the indefinite articles, so if the noun, as I already told you about, if comes after the article which begins with a vowel sound a, e, I, o, u, the appropriate indefinite article is n and not a. A vowel sound is a sound that is created by any vowel in the English language. So, remember a, e, I, o, u, and you have to, but we do not say, there is an exception, we do not say an university, although it begins with a let us say a vowel u, but the pronunciation is, we say an umbrella. So, a sound, but when it is a u sound we do not use, although there may be a vowel. So, therefore, it is always a university and not an university. If the noun that comes after the article begins with a consonant sound, see all those alphabets which are not, or those sounds which are not vowels, they are consonants. So, the appropriate and indefinite article is a. Indefinite article is used when talking about a type or class of people or things. he is a doctor. So, we are mentioning a class or a profession. She is a student, he is a technician, but she is the student of the year. Okay, so then becomes very specific. Now, look at this slide and this exercise. Identify and name the type of the articles in the sentences that are given below. So, go through these sentences and then we will work them out. I am going to the hospital to visit a friend who is undergoing operation. She took a book out of the shelf and started reading. An honest man is needed to complete this task. Man is a social being. Now, see, last sentence, man is a social being, is a universal truth. So, therefore, you do not say man is the social being. So, a is required here. An honest man is needed, any man, but an honest man. We are not talking about someone very specific. He is the honest man I am talking about. If we were talking in that context, then it changes. So, an honest man, and remember, we do not, because honest H is silent, therefore, an honest man. We do not pronounce the alphabet or sound H here. So, it is an honest man. Therefore, the article an, although the word begins with a consonant and not a vowel. She took a book. Now, any book is okay. She took a book. We do not know which book we are here is being talked about, but she took out the book that I was telling you about. Then it becomes specific. I am going to the hospital, okay, and visit a friend who is undergoing operation. The implication is that the listener does not know which friend. I am going to the hospital. Okay. The hospital is quite specific because the friend who is going to be operated is in a definite hospital, a specific hospital. Now, look at this second slide, exercise 2, fill in the blanks with the suitable article. First sentence, he won dash gold medal dash international debate competition. We lost dash bet. I am going to open dash cafe. Can you pass me dash book? Is that dash new song you are listening to? Now, what do we fill in here? He won, let us solve it together. He won a gold medal in the international debate competition. We are talking about a specific debate competition. We lost the bet. Okay, it cannot be we lost a bet. There was a specific bet which these people lost. I am going to open a cafe. Okay, what kind of cafe we do not know, but a cafe. Can you pass me the book? Now, he is talking about a very specific book or thing, right? The book. So, therefore, now can you pass me a book? I will give you any book. You ask me, can you pass me the book? I will have to give you one specific book that you are particularly referring to. Is that the new song you are listening to or everyone is listening to? So, it becomes the a song which is the in song that everyone is listening to. Another rule which concerns articles is the no article rule. Now, we do not use an article with uncountable nouns. Okay. Let us say, let us take for example, oil, water, salt, sugar, we can't really count them 1, 2, 3, 4, right. So, we do not use articles with these words, or with we also do not use articles with countable nouns in the plural when talking in general terms. So, when I say I love maths, maths as a subject, it's uncountable. I do not say a maths or the maths. Are doctors well paid in that company? So, we do not say are the doctors, we are talking about doctors in general. or doctors well paid in that hospital or that country. We are talking about doctors in general, not a specific doctor. Sugar is sweet, so salt is salty. We do not say the sugar or the salt. Look at this particular slide, and some of you would be interested in the topic that I am going to give you in this particular exercise. I have highlighted all the articles for your reference. Let us look at this and I will read it aloud for you. In 1971, a competition for this new cultural center attracted 650 entries. Now, the central idea of this passage, a lengthy passage, is the Centre Pompidou. It is an important building in Paris. So, let us go back to our slide. In 1971, a competition for this new cultural center attracted 650 entries. The winning project, submitted by the architects Richard Rogers, Renzo Piano and Gianfranco Francini, broke with architectural conventions by moving functional elements such as escalators, water pipes and air conditioning to the outside of the building, freeing interior space for the display of artworks. So, the construction of the glass and metal building in the centrally located Beaubourg neighborhood ran into a lot of opposition. I have not highlighted but please highlight it. Is also an article here. Opposition from people who dislike the idea of again not highlighted, but please do it, an oil refinery in a historic district. But when the museum opened in December 1977, it became an instant success. Originally designed to accommodate some 5,000 visitors per day, the Centre Pompidou has been welcoming over 25,000 visitors per day. Okay. Now, you go on to the next slide, and what do we find? The Centre Pompidou is home to one of the world's most important museums of modern art, the M&AM, important abbreviation therefore and very specific, therefore definite article the. But it also contains a very popular library, a bookshop, a movie theatre and a panoramic terrace. The Public Information Library or BPI boasts a collection of so many books, 2600 magazines and a large number of new media items. Now, very interesting piece of art, work of art and a very interesting passage. Okay, so, you just follow the kind of articles which are used here and in what connection, and you do some of your own self reading, you look at the Advanced Learners Dictionary book, you will come across how these articles are used in various places. For more explanation, for more details, you can also look at that. And of course, there is also certain standard grammar books that you can always refer to. We will continue with this slide and look at it. The library occupies the first 3 floors of the building, while the museum's permanent collection is located on floors 4th and 5th. The first and top floor are used for large expositions. We never say a first and top floor, it is always the top floor, the first. The museum has one of the most important collections of modern art. Its more than 59,000 works cover a broad spectrum of 20th century arts. Now, here is an exercise. I would like you to take a good look at it and work it out. I will read out for you, and then this is something that you have to fill in the blanks yourself. We will solve the exercise once you finish it. This is about Sydney Opera House. Sydney Opera House is dash masterpiece of late modern architecture. It is admired internationally and proudly treasured by dash people of Australia. It was created by dash young architect who understood and recognized dash potential provided by the site against dash stunning backdrop of Sydney Harbour. Danish architect Jan Utzon gave Australia challenging graceful piece of urban sculpture in patterned tiles, glistening in dash sunlight and invitingly aglow at night. In its short lifetime, Sydney Opera House has earned dash reputation as dash world class performing arts centre and become dash symbol of both Sydney and dash Australian nation. And dash distinctive roof comprises sets of interlocking vaulted shells set upon dash vast terrace platform and surrounded by terrace areas that function as pedestrian concourses. Dash two main halls are arranged side by side with their long axes slightly inclined from each other. Dash auditoria face south away from dash harbour with the stages located between dash audience and dash city. Now, look at the exercise and solve it. Okay, so let me read out the exercise and the paragraph as solved. Now, Sydney Opera House is a masterpiece of late modern architecture. It is admired internationally and proudly treasured by the people of Australia. It was created by a young architect who understood and recognized the potential provided by the site against the stunning backdrop of Sydney Harbour. See, wherever it is very specific and definite, you are using the definite article the. Danish article Jan Utzon gave Australia a challenging, graceful piece of urban sculpture in patterned tiles glistening in the sunlight and invitingly aglow at night. Please look at the slide. In its short lifetime, Sydney Opera House has earned a reputation as a world-class performing arts centre and become a symbol of both Sydney and the Australian nation. It cannot be an Australian nation. The distinctive roof comprises sets of interlocking vaulted shells set upon a vast terrace platform and surrounded by terrace areas that function as pedestrian concourses. The two main halls are arranged side by side with their long axes slightly inclined from each other, generally running north to south. The auditoria face south away from the harbour with the stages located between the audience and the city. Alright, so this is the way you have to solve the articles, and I hope that you are going to go home today and you are going to learn more about the articles. Even if you look up the internet, there are plenty of sites which talk in detail about the use of articles, a very common area where many students make mistakes. So, thank you very much and we will meet for our next class.